All right, let's dive right in. Today, we are talking about the single most complex, powerful, and honestly most mysterious object in the entire known universe.
So, what do you think it is? A supermassive black hole? Some distant galaxy we haven't even discovered yet? Well, the answer is actually way, way closer to home. In fact, it's with you at this very moment.
Yep, you guessed it, it's your brain. This incredible little 3-pound organ is running the whole show. Every thought, every feeling, every single thing you do. And in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on some of its most mind-blowing features.
So here's the game plan. First, we'll look at the brain as a biological supercomputer. The raw specs are going to blow you away. Then, we'll get into its own bizarre set of rules, some things that just don't seem to make sense. After that, we'll uncover the deep mind-body connection. And finally, we'll look at why your brain is the one thing that truly never, ever stops.
Okay, first up, let's just talk about sheer power. The numbers behind the machine in your skull are, frankly, staggering. Let's start with how much it can hold. 2.5 petabytes. I mean, that's just a ridiculously huge number, right? It's so big, it's almost meaningless on its own. So let's try to put that into perspective. Think about it like this. 2.5 petabytes is enough storage for 3 million hours of TV shows. To watch all of that, you would have to be glued to your screen 24/7 for over 300 years. And all of that capacity is packed right inside your head. It's insane.
Now here's where it gets even crazier. All of that storage, all of that processing, it runs on just 20 watts of power. That's it. 20 watts. That is an unbelievable level of efficiency. All your memories, your personality, your ability to solve problems, everything that makes you you is powered by the same amount of juice it takes to light up one dim little light bulb. It's an absolute masterpiece of engineering. And don't think for a second that it's slow. With 86 billion neurons, each one firing up to 1,000 times a second, your brain is sending trillions of messages all at once. It's a level of parallel processing that just blows away any machine we've ever built. Your brain isn't like a supercomputer. It is the ultimate supercomputer.
Okay, so it's powerful. But here's the thing. Your brain doesn't operate like a normal computer. It plays by its own strange, sometimes totally counterintuitive set of rules. Here's a fun one. Have you ever actually tried it? Go on, give it a shot. See, it just doesn't work, does it? And there's a really cool reason for that. It's all thanks to a part of your brain called the cerebellum. It's constantly predicting what you're about to do. So when you try to tickle yourself, it basically sees it coming and tells the rest of your brain, hey, false alarm, that's just us. It completely cancels out the element of surprise. And without surprise, there's no tickle.
All right, this next one, this might actually change how you think about your entire past. We tend to imagine our memories are like perfect video recordings, right? Stored away safely. But the science tells a very different story.
So every single time you remember something, you're not just hitting play. Your brain actively rebuilds that memory from the ground up. And here's the catch. Every time it does that, it can introduce little changes, maybe even some false details. So your memories aren't set in stone. They're actually evolving.
And for our last little brain quirk, get ready for a serious paradox. The very same organ that processes every single sensation of pain you've ever felt has no pain receptors of its own. It literally cannot feel pain. It's the reason surgeons can perform operations on patients while they're wide awake. How wild is that?
So we've seen the power, we've seen the weirdness. Now let's talk about how it's all connected to the rest of you. Because the brain isn't just an isolated command center sitting up in your head.
Let's start with your gut. It's often called your second brain, and for a very good reason. Your digestive tract is lined with over 100 million neurons. It's in constant communication with your brain through a huge nerve bundle. You know that gut feeling you get? That's not just some old saying. It's literally your second brain chiming in, influencing your mood and even what you decide to do.
And this connection is seriously physical. Just take something as simple as water. When you're even a little bit dehydrated, your actual brain tissue can temporarily shrink. And that physical change immediately impacts your ability to concentrate, your memory, and your mood. So yeah, next time you're feeling a bit foggy, the answer might just be a glass of water.
Okay, for our final section, we're going to focus on one simple truth. Your brain is always on. It never clocks out. It never takes a day off. And believe it or not, it's often working hardest when you think it's resting. 70,000. That is the estimated number of thoughts that pass through your head every single day. It is a constant, 24/7 internal monologue that proves one thing for sure. Your brain is always busy.
And when I say always, I mean always. It doesn't shut down when you go to sleep. In fact, in a lot of ways, it actually gets busier. Sleep is when your brain does all its important maintenance. It locks in memories, it practices things you've learned, and it even works on problems. It's why you can literally sleep on it and wake up with a brilliant solution.
So, after all of this, what's the takeaway? You have this absolute powerhouse between your ears running 24/7, 86 billion neurons, 2.5 petabytes of power. The most incredible, sophisticated machine in the known universe is yours. So the only question left is, what are you going to do with it?